17 southern governors in the country have replied the presidency after it described their resolution to ban open grazing in the region as unconstitutional. The governors lambasted the senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Malam Garba Shehu, and accused him of creating confusion in the polity. Reacting on behalf of the forum, the chairman of the West Governors Forum, Rr⁰R⁰Śm, said no inch of the space delineated and known currently as Southwest, and indeed the Old South, will be ceded to a band of invaders masquerading as S-men under any guise. Ķ⁰Łł in a statement titled Mr. Garba Shehu on the trail of an agent provocateur and signed by his senior special advisor on special duties and strategy, Dr. Doyin Odebawale, said Shehu cannot continue to hide under some opaque, omnibus and dubious directives to create confusion in the polity. It also accused the presidential aide of serving interests different from those of President Muhammadu Buhari. The statement said the easy recourse to mendacious opity in pushing a barely disguised pernicious agendum is well understood. The declaration that the recommendations of the Minister of Agriculture, Alhaji Sabo Nanono, a mere political appointee like Garba Shehu, are now the lasting solutions which eluded all the elected representatives of the people of the southern part of the country, exposes this man as a pitiable messenger who does not seem to understand the limits of his relevance and charge. Whoa! It continued. He also attributed a unilateral decision to the president who clears the way for ranching and revival of forest reserves as part of the permanent solution to the frequent clashes between them, as well as the associated problem of the gun-wielding killer herdsmen. Anyone who has been following the utterances of this man, as well as his fellow travelers on the self-deluding, mendacious, but potentially dangerous itinerary to anarchy, cannot but conclude that the works assiduously for extraneous interests whose game plan stands at variance with the expectations of genuine lovers of peaceful coexistence among all the peoples whose ethnic extractions are indigenous to Nigeria. Mr. Garba contends that their announcement is of questionable legality, referring to the 17 governors of the southern state, but the decision of certain elements to take the ancestral lands of other people to settle their kinsmen, including the gun-wielding killer herdsmen and their families, and provide veterinary clinics, water points for animals, and facilities for herders and their families, including schooling, through these rehabilitated reserves, for which the federal government is making far-reaching and practical changes, allowing for different communities to coexist side by side, does not appear to him as a comprehensive plan for land grabbing, a precursor to internal colonialism. He wants to revive forest reserves but seems particularly uninterested in the current position of the same law that he and his cohorts often misinterpret to serve parochialism and greed. Governors no longer have powers over the lands in their territories. They must take instructions from appointees of the federal government of such matters. It is superfluous, and that is being charitable for anyone to remind us of the constitutional rights of the bona fide citizens to enjoy rights and freedoms within every one of our 36 states and FCT, regardless of their state birth and residence. There has been any contention on this provision. It is clear that Mr. Garba seems to have issues understanding the difference between licentious criminality and qualified rights under our law. It is our duty to continually nudge him off his current state of cognitive dissonance. His pronouncement betrays dubiety and mischief. All this big English, eh? Hey. Yes, so this Ķ⁰Łł, you know, is a son. Well, most traditional families in Nigeria have occupations. Pastoralism is not an exception. An ethnic group still trapped in anachronism may be assisted to embrace modernity, dispossessing communities of their ancestral lands, encouraging denizens of the forest to overrun land belonging to other people, and forcing alien bands of migrants on the local populace to live side by side with other communities cannot be for the purpose of animal husbandry. It raises suspicion on a ground, deliberate, persistent, and insidious design to use naked force to subjugate the real owners of the land. Mr. Garba Shehu is a major supporter of the current pervasive anarchy in the land. May we warn Mr. Garba Shehu and his cohort to desist from hurling insults on the elected representatives of the people. He lacks the authority to make policy statements for the federal government unless directed expressly. His acts are clearly those of an agent provocateur. Other closet dreamers, aspirers to colonial fantasies must be weaned off their delusion. Hi. All this biblical drama, well, in a nutshell, they are beginning to see that Garba Shehu is the one. Of course, people are saying it now. The president cannot say anything. Do you know that for you to know that the president does not understand, Buhari does not understand anything, go and check the interview that this woman interviewed in Buhari and Osinbajo before the 2019 election. If you see that Kadaria, that's a journalist, Kadaria. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing that. She's a northerner, Kadaria. She's a journalist. She interviewed Buhari and Osinbajo. Go and check the video. You need to check the video, what Buhari was talking about. The woman was asking one question. Buhari did not even understand. It was Osinbajo that was trying to intervene. And the woman said, let the president, let him speak for himself. He's not a child. Let him speak for himself. Osinbajo was just trying everything possible to make sure that, but at the end of the day, all of them, all their supporters were there that very day. Shehu won't finish them. So if you watch that video and you still believe that Buhari knows what is happening, that means something is really wrong somewhere. So Garba Shehu has been the one behind all of those things because he's the one who is always issuing statements. And like Kava said, now these governors, they know. It's just that they don't want to speak. But now, if you think that you want to continue to be politically correct or you want to be defending this government or the Fulani, just like Fani Kayode said, that defending Fulani is a big deal. It's a big problem because as you are defending, they are coming out. You are trying to package them. But unfortunately, those who think that they are offending them, they don't know that these people, they have a different agenda. And that is why you don't know. You don't think that you want to be politically correct. They will just expose you because they don't care. So if they are coming in that manner, they want you to be civil. They want you to know how to choose your words. Anything you say, they want quickly pick it. But they have the liberty to talk anyhow. And I think, it's a good thing that these governors or the politicians from the south, they are beginning to understand this. Of course, they understand it. They were trying to look the other way, but the more they try to patch the whole thing, the more these people coming out to tell you that this is what they mean, and they want you to do that. You know that the southerners, the majority of the people are not even in for all this nonsense that all these governors or the politicians are doing. They are on their own. I'm surprised that they are coming out like this to speak because this thing is just getting too much. It's too much. Garba Shehu is hiding under any guise. Of course, they have told him that because of that, they wanted to open a Ruga. You wanted to open Ruga, that they will have all manner of things. You think people are stupid. Then what happens to all the ones they have built in the country that they have not been able to maintain? They just want to grab land. Nnamdi has been saying it. People have been saying it, but you guys don't want to listen. Now you are beginning to see what the business they have for you. Can you imagine? The elders in the south are to be blamed for this. They have no voice and they keep suppressing, proscribing, incarcerating, and killing young southerners that have been speaking up against the dominance of the Fulanis. The best time is to terminate this retrogressive and oppressive union is now. Southern government should be very careful. We will not take this from them. Nigeria belongs to us and we decide what happens to the nation. Correct. You are a joker. Okay. Come on, close that your dirty mouth. And next week, we'll decide where you belong in the zoo. Don't worry. This is your nightmare. Leave Garba Shehu alone. Okay, who is your... if the southern governors have confirmed that Garba Shehu is a supporter of terrorism and killings by herders, they should persecute him with their facts. They should take the bold step. You can imagine. So guys, let's hear your opinion on this.